(2018) Mercedes-Benz SL 550. Presentation. The Mercedes-Benz SL class isn't precisely a games auto, or perhaps it's more than a games auto. It may be known as a high-extravagance roadster with a retractable hardtop. It's not the world's to begin with, on the grounds that you could backpedal to the 1930s, or possibly the 1920s, and discover autos with comparative goals and achievements. The SL class conveys style to run with its energy, and, shockingly, a delicate and deft driving background, which is something you unquestionably can't say in regards to such autos once upon a time. The present contenders incorporate such marvelous autos as the lovely Jaguar F-Type and Aston Martin DB9, the notable Porsche 911, the merciless Dodge Viper and the exciting Chevrolet Corvette. Presently in the 6th year of its age, the SL class is extending things, so for 2017 it gets refreshed to make it more vehement and expressive, and stay aware of those adversaries. The body is more svelte, even with the new twin-power dome hood, and the mechanical innovation is progressed with a 9-speed transmission in many models. The lodge, be that as it may, remains the same, with the exception of the infotainment framework that is somewhat bigger and mounted in the dash instead of detached. The SL class starts with the Mercedes-Benz SL 450 with its twin-turbocharged 3.0-liter V6, making 362 strength and 369 pound-feet of torque. Next comes the SL 550, wearing a twin-turbo 4.7-liter V8 with 449 horsepower and 516 pounds-to-foot. The SL 65 parades a huge 6.0-liter twin-turbo V12 that conveys a race car-like 621 horsepower and incredible 738 pounds-to-foot of torque, which we can just scratch our heads about, and ponder what a driver would ever do with it. At last, there is the Mercedes-AMG SL 63, which backs things down a bit, yet very little, to a twin-turbo 5.5-liter V8 making 577 horsepower and 664 pounds-to-foot of torque. It utilizes a 7-speed programmed, influencing us to think about whether AMG knows something about those modern Mercedes 9 speeds. We think the AMG SL 63 hits a sweeter spot of elite, and it handles the best, despite the fact that the heavier SL 65 is the quickest at 186 miles for each hour, and 0 to 60 of every 4 seconds level. Could be the 9 speeds are about fuel mileage, laugh. As though it made a difference. The EPA hasn't tried the 2017 SLs yet, however we're taking a gander at perhaps 23 miles per gallon consolidated for the SL 450. Furthermore, that V12 in the SL 65? Perhaps 17 joined. Yet, go ahead, when you have a V12 in the engine, in case you're supposing fuel mileage, you should have been slapped upside the head and sent to your neighborhood Prius showroom for discipline. Security savvy, the SL class is excellent among execution autos, as it gets such a significant number of the dynamic well-being frameworks in the S-Class lead vehicle. You name the component, Mercedes-Benz has it. At the point when autos start absolutely driving individually, our cash is on Mercedes-Benz to be the first. Also, we're not saying that is something worth being thankful for. That goes past apparent well-being. Mercedes-Benz has a long history of over-designing its autos for security, and these models have an awesome genuine record for tenant security, regardless of whether the SL class hasn't been smashed by both of the two major national testing organizations, and likely won't be a direct result of how moderately uncommon it is. The SL class comes standard with front airbags, side airbags that stretch out to ensure the head and thorax, knee airbags, and fly-up move bars that actuate in a rollover. Automated stopping devices, steadiness and footing control additionally are standard, as are dynamic headrests, wet arm wiper sharp edges, dynamic headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and attention assist, which screens the driver for sleepiness and lights up an espresso mug symbol on the dash when it's the ideal opportunity for a caffeine break. On the dynamic well-being front, Collision Prevention Assist Plus is currently a standard element, with dynamic brake help. An accessible driver assistance bundle loads on all the more, incorporating versatile journey control with controlling help, an active brake assist framework with cross-movement usefulness, blind side screens, dynamic path control, and pre-safe brake, which will brake at up to 40% control, while sounding an alarm, if movement is halted ahead. With the last element, the minute the driver touches the brake pedal 100% of braking power is conveyed. Mercedes-Benz groups a couple of the most recent well-being advancements together in a driver assistance package. Dynamic voyage control incorporates with the stopping mechanism to identify when an impact is fast approaching, and to apply brakes to restrict harm or to keep the crash completely. We have blended sentiments about the utility of this sort of voyage control and the path-keeping help that accompanies it. In any case, we feel the blind side screens that total the trio include a significant measure of security, with the capacity to help guide the auto over into line utilizing coordinated braking. Among the well-being alternatives, the rear-view camera ought to be standard at this cost. Likewise on offer are stopping sensors and stop help, which utilizes those sensors and electric power directing to edge the SL into a spot while the driver keeps up control over the brake. With another 9-speed programmed, in addition to a twin-turbo V6 joining the 2017 SL class, one that Mercedes-Benz guarantees as more effective, we are expecting this hardtop convertible's mileage to enhance over the lineup. The 2017 SL class hasn't yet been appraised by the EPA, yet a year ago's SL 400 dealt with an EPA-evaluated 20/27ths of a mile per gallon city, highway, 23 combined. It ought to be noticed that the 2016 model utilized a 7-speed program. The 2017 SL class has a 9-speed, so mileage could progress. The SL 550 ought to enhance as well. The 2016 adaptation was appraised at 16/24/19ths of a mile per gallon. Venture up to the all the more effective SL 63 AMG model, and it comes as no undeniable mileage punishment. A year ago's model earned 16/25/19ths of a mile per gallon. In case you're taking a gander at the SL 65 AMG, be that as it may, you'll just procure 14/21/17ths of a mile per gallon, which is poor, however not shocking thinking about its huge power. Lineup. The SL 450 utilizes a V6, the SL 550 a V8. The SL 65 a V12, and the AMG SL 63 a dragster V8. Walkaround. The 2017 SL class front end includes enormous round LED headlamps with LED running lights, the hood with twin lungs, and a grille that is more vertical, motivated by the Gullwing 300 SLW194 that won the 1952 La Carrera Panamericana, after a vulture with a 45-inch wingspan crushed through the windshield and thumped the pilot oblivious. There's an A-wing plan in the front that likewise indications of the old auto, prompting a body-shaded splitter. The air dams are greater, and some body boards have been etched, influencing the SL to class more athletic and etched. The impact resembles a sturdy games vehicle look on an elegant visiting car body. From the side it's not the most attractive Mercedes, but rather from different points it summons an earnest. The hardtop roofline and tier tail lamps appear to be out of adjust with the front end, so accordingly it looks best with the best down. Inside. The cockpit is exact, similar to a business fly, with round plane-like vents and extravagant subtle elements. The calfskin is sewed in 2 columns, and there's sufficient metallic trim to humiliate an Audi. The guiding wheel has a level base, and the shifter is only a modest handle on the comfort. What an auto this would be with a manual transmission. The dash is not so much streaming but rather more compartmentalized than the C-Class and S-Class cars. 4 chrome-tipped vents stay the dash that incorporates a major shining touchscreen, discretionary simple clock, and more trim in dim-finished wood, aluminum, or carbon fiber. The controls are gathered consistently, however not all related to clear symbols. The middle support is wide, flaring out to hold 2 major cup holders. The 2017 Command has Apple CarPlay cell phone joining. Favor sound choices incorporate a Harman Kardon or Bang & Olufsen sound framework. The hardtop can go up or down when the auto is moving 25 miles an hour or less. The rooftop boards are naturally put away in a place that doesn't gobble up much trunk space, since it's as of now really little. It just holds 2 or 3 portable sacks with the best up. The seats are wide and profoundly scooped, however with 12 changes they're steady for all sizes, including long legs on account of a base pad extender. They can be warmed, cooled or rubbed, and warm air can be blown on your neck from the air scarf. Behind the seats, there's sufficient space for a folder case, however behind each seat is a profound container with a cover. Moving in and out, with the best up, requires some bowing, yet not as much as with a game's auto. Under the hardtop, it's peaceful as a couple. With the best down and windows up, the successful air diverter makes it conceivable to have a discussion at 70 miles per hour without yelling. Driving impression. It appears to be strange, and it's relatively troublesome, to state that the 362-pole twin-turbo 3.0-liter V6 is the moderate sister of the SL class. What we figure we ought to capably say is, for the love of all that is holy, it brings a lot of sweet speed, and 369 pound-foot of torque, so alternate motors are needless excess, pointless mammoths. Truth be told, in the event that anybody says that, we won't contend one piece. On the off chance that this twin-turbo V6 isn't sufficient motor for you in this present man of his words roadster, at that point you're a superfluous mammoth yourself. Or possibly a dinosaur. Or on the other hand perhaps somebody who just needs a cultivated viper. Which is the place the AMG SL63 with the greater V8 would come in. Actuality is, the SL450 feels about as speedy as the SL550 with its V8. Not just that, it sounds more strident, if less throaty. You need the fundamental idea of a V8 to incline toward the SL550. So, the V8 control trademark perhaps best fits the visiting character of the SL. The SL550 lopes along in a refined way. Be that as it may, we watched some ignoble conduct in low speeds and simple throttle, which we fault on the 9-speed transmission, or all the more absolutely, the transmission, motor mix. We haven't driven the V12 SL65 yet. Possibly it is ideal. We may say something terrible in regards to pointless excess. Or then again we may absolutely negate ourselves and say in case you're go.